I'm Doc Hockey for Perpared Sports Injury Clinic. I wanted to relay a story about one of my patients that had come in and was telling me about his re-injured groin injury that he had, sort of adductor injury. And he's a goalie, and he was playing, and he had taken a time off to go back to playing. He had a couple good games, and then he was doing stretching the one time, holding long static stretches, and then he went out and he just felt it kind of tweak again. He's like, I don't know, I stretched and I warmed up. And I was like, well, why don't we talk about the stretches that you've been doing? And he talked about how he was holding them for, 30 seconds to a minute, but a really good long stretching. If you do it for 15 to 20 minutes on different muscle groups. I said, well, that's great, but it brought me back to a time when I used to be in college and I used to do a lot of stretching too. I want to be very prepared for the game. I want to be, ready to go. I wanted everything firing on all cylinders so I could perform at my best. Well, I found that when I got onto the ice after doing these kind of static stretches, I kind of felt uncoordinated. It's almost like I had too much flexibility that I wasn't able to basically control. So as I've been going through practice, I've realized that you need strength with control. And the best way to stretch is to warm up the same way that you're actually going to perform. So if I'm going to be running, I'm going to do maybe a slow walk to an increased jog to a fast jog into a sprint for short periods of time so that I'm not wasting energy and I'm preparing the body for the exercise it's going to be doing. I think that's pretty important to do. So we do a static stretch versus a dynamic stretch. Now, static stretching can be really good afterwards, but we want to make sure we're doing dynamic stretch beforehand. And I'll give you an example of what we mean by an adductor, a dynamic stretch. So if we're saying we're using this chair here, an adductor stretch might be where I just kind of put my foot up and I'm kind of going forward. You can feel a stretch in through here. You can even feel a stretch in through the groin on this side. Now, if I'm doing a dynamic stretch, it's going to be going into tension and then off of tension. So I'm not going into tension and then holding a long stretch like this. I'm going on and then off. So on and then off. And I feel it in through here, and I also feel it in through this side of the groin as well. All right. Now you want to change it the different planes that you are. So let's imagine this is my back foot and it's on the floor. So my foot can be straight. It can also be turned inwards. It can be turned outwards. So change the different plane of the muscle that you're doing. So once I'm outwards, I get more inside stretch. When I'm straight, I'm getting more mid stretch. And when I'm putting the foot inwards, I'm getting more outside stretch to the outside part of the hamstring. So those are good ways to switch things up. You can do this with a quad stretch as well when you're just bringing the leg backwards. So if you're looking at me here, I bring the quad stretch in here, and I might do a forward kind of and backwards position where I'm bringing the leg backwards, and I'm stretching out that quad muscle in through here. And then I might turn to the side so you can see my body rotating, or I'm getting a rotational part, and then maybe a lateral flexion or a side bend where I'm getting a stretch along the line there on the outside part of that quad. Those are good stretches to be doing. There's a whole bunch of ones you can do for the calf, you can do for the quads, the hamstrings, the adductors, the glutes. Just changing up that plane, make sure we're going on and off of tension. And this is before you're doing some training or you're going to exercise, games or whatever. So hopefully that'll help you guys out with what we should be doing for stretching beforehand. And afterwards, there's a whole bunch of other things what you do. Make sure you just do a good cool down. We can talk about that at another time. So anyways, these tips are supposed to help you with prevention of injury, better performance, better recovery. So hopefully that's going to be helping you out. Remember, I'm Doc Hockey, leading the way in sports injury treatment. Have a great day.